thought I would reorganize my drawer, 'cause the mess was getting harder to ignore. So I emptied all the trash and it started looking better, but I couldn't find a place for this old and distant letter, so I might as well reorganize my bins. 'Cause my stickers should be separate from my pins, and my cord should have a home, and my tool should have a case. Fork, my letter still doesn't have a place, so I might as well reorganize my room. 'Cause I didn't even know I had perfume. I guess it comes as no surprise. It's hard to use your old supplies until you can reorganize your strife. So it's time that I reorganize my life.
I've been moving around this studio cleaning, and I noticed that I couldn't find Murphy. I didn't know where he was. So where's that cat? I'm like, I wonder if he got back up there. Momo, you in there? You back there? Hi. Hi. Are you in a cabinet? On the wall. Good morning and happy Friday. Today's coffee is brought to you by Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. What am I doing today? I don't know. I have 85 projects in the works. And I'm still waiting on a presser foot that is now lost in the mail and have 4 more days before I can claim it as lost forever and they can reship me one. So in that process... those are still on the wall. I got hair started. I can't look at that octopus with the hair coming out of it. And, when in Rome, hey, GPT, can I start my seed starts? And if so, which ones? Yes, Anna, you can. Okay, well, now I'm going to do that. What am I going to do today? Tidy up first. Recap. Then you'll know what you're going to do, I think. Okay, so the different projects I have going on right now is one, working with synthetic hair to make different wig or costuming or theatrical production pieces with different color hair, right? So I'm working with Julie from Flex Extensions. We had a meeting, I think, on Monday. So I have that going and kind of got my head wrapped around it, and we're supposed to FaceTime later. So I'm kind of pinned on that, right? I went and separated a bunch of different hair that that is inspiring to me and giving me all of these different ideas of characters or costuming, because I have more fabric than I'll ever know what to do with, and I have to figure out how to use it all. I still have 2 of the fish quilts that are waiting, but that I can't go further without the presser foot. But I also don't just sit and wait for weeks and do nothing. So that's when I started cutting these up and doing the vests. Now, Shane's Packer one's amazing, and it's a great prototype. And I wore it out of the house the other day, and I'd pretend I was a Packer fan. But I was really proud of my work. And 3 different people were like, where did you get that? And it's like, oh, I made it. They're like, do you sell them? And it's like, I just made it. Yeah, I just made it so far. This one is for my friend Duncan, who loves my creative spirit and is wonderful enough to let me make him something awesome, right? And so I don't know if I want to cut and flip that and do another color block. I don't know if that's the aesthetic that we're going to like. So I had to stop on his, because I haven't made that decision yet, because there's different parts of the process where right now I'm making the materials to be able to make the vest. And so I don't have the pattern that I want to use specifically, and that's where my girlfriend Cam is helping me. So I started her Green Bay one, and I have the fabrics, but it all depends on how the clothes beforehand fit, right? Where I'm taking 3 jerseys that no longer fit him because he lost weight and making it into a special one, right? And this one, I think I'm taking a shirt that was snug to begin with and then zhuzhing it. So we might have to add like a side panel for fit. So it's like that's pinned. I have the remnants of the other ones where these can be, this is my other prototype where it's the offcuts of those that I'm going to cut I am going to cut the bottom of that one and flip it to see how I like it. I just don't know if I want to do it yet. So I'm marinating on it. And depending on how those 2 vests turn out, this one was mine that was supposed to match Shane's. Like I had a Peppers and he had a Matthews, I think. And he loves his, but I might want to have mine with just the 90 and the Peppers on the back and have more of like a blue and orange plaid on the front, kind of in like this realm, like the mismatched front, right? So I'm kind of pinned. Like I really need to marinate on it. But then I also am writing a workshop on how to have patience and grace in decision making while being a creative. So Shane and I go to the Goodwill because I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my Bears one, and we need to go to the Hab Labs because I need some zippers. I thought that maybe at the Hab Labs I could get some inspiration for my Bears one, and if I could find like some sweatshirts or things like that, where I don't want, like, the jerseys are like $25, and it's like, I don't need a full jersey. I just need orange-esque or blue-esque, right? Things we found at the Goodwills is this was $5.99, and I think it will be an awesome inside or complementary to that, whatever I do with that one. So I was like, okay, that material, I want to be able to reuse the pockets and put the pockets on there. So we found that one, and that one was like 100%. So then we are getting up to go to the counter, and there's a separate space that had more jerseys. And I was like, oh, sweet. Like, this is where they keep more. And there was more Urlacher. And it's like, I have 5 Urlacher jerseys I'm working with currently. I ain't mad about it, but is there a different team? Sure as shit. Out of all the things that they have, you'll never believe it. So Shane sees this Marlins jersey, and he's like, oh, I wonder if that says Fielder on it. And I look at him like, why the fuck would it say Fielder on it? I was like, was there a player named Fielder? And he's like, yeah. He picks it up. It's brand new. This thing has never been worn. And it's in gold. I was like, how did we go to the Goodwills and find a brand new baseball, which I haven't done yet, jersey with your name on it? Like, that's amazing. I was like, he's like, we don't have to get it. I was like, we're getting it. Of course we're getting it. Found that. I really cannot wait for that presser foot to come. Then we went when we were at the Hab Labs, which I don't go to Hobby Lobby very often, but they had the zippers that I needed for like $1.99. So while I was there, I was like, Shane, you know what? I'm like, I've been in this pattern realm of things, building patterns, writing patterns, needing patterns, using patterns. I was like, I want to look and see if they have any patterns on sale. They had McCall's patterns for 50 cents. And I don't know if they always have them, but the thing is with me and patterns is like, they're kind of fun, and they're kind of like Pokemon cards, I think, or like baseball cards where I like kind of want to collect them. But I've had so many different sets of patterns over the years. Like when we moved in here, I think I brought boxes and boxes of patterns that I had inherited from somewhere that I didn't need. So we ended up like using them as packing materials and burning them and kindling. I said to Shane, I was like, I just want to see if they have a vest pattern to check things. And so I go over to the pattern books, and I'm like looking through vests and different things, and I find a pattern, and I go and look it up. They don't have it. I'm like, okay. I go and I find a different one. I go and I look. They don't have it. I'm like, okay. I bartended and I ran bars, and I managed worked at craft stores, right? Like, it's like, I know how to play this game. So I said, I'm just going to go through each drawer and look and see and pick out of what's available, because that book is not their current status. So I go over and I don't know. And then I look and they're 50 cents. And I was like, oh my God. I was like supermarket sweep. Shane's like, are you going to be here for a minute? I'm like, mm-hmm. He's like, okay, I'm going to run to the bathroom. When he went like, I'm going to be here forever. I'm not leaving until they are ready to close, possibly like Yam Beer What. So he leaves, and then he comes back. He's like, oh my God, I just saw the coolest aisle. We got to go see it again. I'm like, filing through it, right? Look at all my patterns. Okay, I don't necessarily like building new clothes or starting from scratch. What I do like is altering clothes in a way that makes it feel better, or completely reusing the textiles. But sometimes when you do that, like, you can alter a dress and keep it a dress, but just like take it in so it fits better, or, shorten the hem. But like when you're changing the silhouette of something, having a pattern that you can go back to is a very nice thing to have, especially when there's a lot of production needed to happen. And I have an entire garage full of clothes, everybody's clothes from every size that anybody's ever been, like the amount of clothes that I have. So I said, I'm most of the clothes that I want to work with or save are bigger than, I don't need to like cut them up and make them into, I don't need two, they're 1-for-1s where I can take one dress and then there's so much fabric in that size 20 or 24 or whatever sizes that I don't wear anymore, that I can make easily a simpler, smaller pattern out of. And these are all things that I did like and wear and haven't been able to get rid of, even though they're twice my fucking size now. And it's like I'm trying to grow into them, like my wedding dress, and it didn't work. Like, it doesn't work anymore. Being able to reuse those things and keep a lot of the original seaming is reduce, reuse, recycle. Look at how freaking cute that dress is. I got some of the most adorable patterns. And so he goes and then he comes back, and I looked at him and I was like, Shane, they're 50 cents a piece, which is amazing in itself. I want them. But then I said to him, I was like, I have never in my life stood and looked at patterns like this, and I've done this a lot, and where I fit into the majority of the patterns. Like, a lot of times I couldn't do the patterns that I liked because they didn't offer it in extended sizes, and I had to buy the regular pattern, and then I had to redraft it, and that's why I went to school for fashion design. I was like, that I've never fit. Now size inclusivity, amazing. Just availability, because people don't use paper patterns very much, I guess. But I was like, I've never been able to wear some of these styles because I didn't have access to that. That's pretty neat. I got like 20 patterns. If anybody's looking to learn to sew, please let me know, because I need to get this space set up to be able to do that. So if a friend of mine who understands my communication language, I can help them with that. Debbie, where are you? I'm very excited to be able to go forward with that and to be able to teach those skills that I don't know. Apparently not everybody's mom sat them down when they were 10 and they just sewed for summers straight on end for 20 years. I didn't realize how special it was that my mom took the time to teach me how to sew, and it was and the camaraderie and the relationship building that kind of did for us. One of the hardest parts about sewing again, and I might cry thinking about it, is like when I finished my first quilt. When I took my sewing machine out and I finished my first quilt, I was standing there and looking at it, and my cousin Sarah walked in. I said, "Thank God you're here." And she said, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "I'm really mad that my mom died." And she like looked at me. I was like, "Listen, I know where my faults are, and I know where she like really just went above and beyond." I was like, "I've never finished a quilt without bringing it to her immediately, because I was so burnt out that it's like, can you cut my threads for me? Because I finished it. I want to be done now, but I want to be proud, but I'm too tired to cut my threads. Will you?" It's like, "Mom, I brought this over to show off." And then she'd be like, "Okay, I'll get my scissor." I don't know. It was probably the same thing as a little kid bringing a pebble to show them. "Mom, look what I found. Look what I did. I did that with my bare hands." That's how I say it. And she would always, I don't care about the threads. They could live there forever. I'm showing it to you because I completed the project as far as I was going to do it. Do you like it? And she was like, "Yeah." And then she couldn't help herself. Like, I wasn't concerned about the threads. I knew that that's the last step. And it's like, but it's a blanket now that I can cuddle with, whatever. That thread's fine. She went above and beyond, and every quilt I've ever made, she did. And it was, and saying that story of like, it was the first quilt that I had finished after she had passed and had gone through some of like our sewing stuff and all that stuff. So it was very emotional, but now her and my brother are hanging in my office, and just, she's, looking over my shoulder and filling my cup. Anyway. Okay. So where did I leave off on projects? Doing the Erlacher ones. I am waiting on the part for the quilts. I don't know what to do about the vests yet, but we have options, and I'm not just pausing to pause. Like, I'm intentionally testing my own room's limits. Like, I don't want to say this, where Shane probably comes home and is like, "Why is there hair out and quilts and vests and this?" It's like, sorry that you have to sleep in my workshop, but this is the inside of my brain now on the outside, and dirt's coming tonight dirt came last night because I ordered stuff for the garden, right? I need to test the limits of this room. Okay, I need to test the theory. Now, I've talked about the theory of the space. Like this, even though I'm in this space, I still can't understand what is this space. I know what I want it to be. I know what I'm working towards, but is it realistic? It's like, yes, you can do all those things. The problem with trying to do a lot of those things is that it's the transition of taking one thing down and setting up another thing. This room is as big as any retail or square footage I have looked outside of our house for 3 years. So the fact it's like I don't know how to not be efficient in my workspace, but it's recreating the wheel, but not just one. It's like all the wheels of the car that can go. That is Anna and Custom AF Designs under as that a collaborative umbrella. Like I don't do just one thing, right? Under the business coaching, under the life coaching, under the art therapy practitioner, under the RBT training that I've taken, but I don't want to get licensed to be an RBT because I'm a little burnt out from being in charge of a child and their everyday existence for a while, where school needs to do that, and I need a little bit of a break to be creative. Under the Custom AF Designs umbrella that I had established before Grayson's immune system kind of took over, right? And not just hair. Like I can't build, first of all, my hands are a crapshoot. Where right now, it's taking me so long to get going because I can't feel the fingertips on both of my hands. And it's not nutritional. I don't feel that. It's just the side effects of the long-term damage of what happened to my nervous system. And I have to very much pay attention to what my nervous system is doing and how it's reacting because I have to have surgery in a couple weeks. So it's like, really, right now, the unpredictability that I have of what day and what time of the day my hands are going to work, it's too inconsistent to even try to schedule an in-person client where I could take the chance that I could not be able to feel my fingers while working with very sharp scissors. And in the past, when I have been able to feel my fingers, I have done some damage. So it's like, we're gonna not do that. I've seen some pretty bad stuff come out of that. And also, I've given myself stitches before, so I don't trust myself to not try to repair that. Yes, the confidence level that I've had in my life of things that, yeah, I can do that. I not only have I given myself stitches, I've given 2 other people stitches. Thanks, Mom. I'm a sewer. You gave me that confidence, but also my dad was an EMT and he gave himself stitches when I was a kid, so it just seemed like it was a normal thing. Any hoozles, back to the room and what it is. I don't know what it is, and I am trying to not burn myself out. Like I'm coming out of burnout, so the only thing I have talked about is how I want to go. And it's like between my hands and knowing I have 2 surgeries coming up this year, I don't have the ability to run. Right now I have to plan, right? I have to make sure that my things are set up for me to be able to have a 6 to 8 week recovery time before Grayson gets out of school, with the goal of as soon as Grayson goes back into school, I'll have to have another surgery. So it's like, okay, that makes it difficult to know when I can stand up and sit down and when I can rest and do all those things if I'm booking in-person clients. So it doesn't make sense to grow any in-person like appointments that require me to use sharp things quickly. And anxiety, Anna, is is very much aware, but trying not to lead the parade of knowing that we're going to have surgery and have a major kind of thing happening for the first time ever in our entire lives without our mom, and we don't have her couch to go to, and she's not going to take care of us. And you take care of a lot of people, and is your system ready for that? And it's like, yes, I'm checking boxes and making sure that Grayson's taken care of, and that like everybody's trying to be healthy and get to the point where it's like, if I don't have this surgery now, then I have to have it during the summertime and heal while Grayson's at home, and that would be more difficult, and I wouldn't be able to garden, and that would break my heart, and that's what I'm looking forward to, right? And then I would have to have the other one at Christmas. So it's like that's the only thing that, like, that's my carrot at the end of the string. It's like, oh, I have, like, that makes it less of an option. Like, I don't get to do the things that I want to do, or it makes it harder for my system and my sports system to be able to navigate like the off season of school and things like that. It's like, okay, it's like, but I don't want to do that. Like, that's very much probably like, can I ignore it? It's like, no, you can't. Your mother walked around for 15 years on knees that didn't work. And she waited too long. It never felt okay. So you can't wait. Like, we can't avoid it. And it's like, but I don't necessarily want to have to, like, it's a domino effect. Like, if I don't, once I have this first surgery, my deductible is going to be met. So it's like, okay, I have to have both of these surgeries in 1 year. Okay, you put in recovery time, you put in grace in summertime, and it's like, how the hell do I grow anything? It doesn't really work. Or it gives me anxiety, but it's not a bad thing. It just makes it so that I can't go. I have to very much check boxes of building an evergreen system that is sustainable, and that shifts everything I've done into, instead of me like making a dresser and selling a dresser, it makes it so that I can teach skills that I've learned in all of these micro niches and do workbooks or they're called micro lens books. And like, when you're studying something, right? Let's say there's 10 chapters in like a chemistry book, and there's tests at the end of it, but each chapter is a different section, right? People now, instead of buying just like $30 books to learn a whole theory of, it's like continuing education. That's those micro niches, and there's a lot of them. And being the person that I was before I was home in quarantine with Grayson, right? While I was home with Grayson, I said to Shane yesterday, I was like, I didn't stop learning. I was like, remember how I was like, being a parent of a neurodivergent person is hard, and then also I'm neurodivergent myself, and it's like, okay, do you go to therapy, or do you take the courses to become a registered behavior therapist, so that not only is somebody giving you the tools, but then you're really well versed in them, so you could teach them. Like, I took the registered behavior therapist course, but I didn't take the test because I like. But then it's like, okay, if you can do that for kids, how do you help adults? Is there a registered behavior therapist for adults? It's like, no. Okay, what do you do? Well, yeah, under the parameters of the coaching license that I got, I'm able to not only help kids with RBT and be in person with them, but that also help parents do those things and help advocate with them and coach them through self-advocacy, which is so important. And it is a skill that if anybody ever needs me, I'm like a sleeper cell. You call me and be like, I need a medical advocate. That wakes up. But that person was very hard to be for Grayson for as long as I have been. And then my mother. And so when it came down to like, okay, I don't know if like, that's not something sustainable emotionally. What else can I add to my repertoire? Because I am a person who is an eternal learner. I constantly want to be taking in new skills. I don't want to necessarily be hoarding the after effect of taking in new skills. I like to make and then give and donate or pay it forward kind of thing. Anyway, so in that, it's like, okay, well, all of those credentials, like, is there like a funner part besides like the hardness of heaviness? And can we get like, what helps these things? One night when I was up in the middle of the night listening to see if Grayson was well, I think last year or the year before, in the middle of the night, I put on my Elster a register or art therapy practitioner course to be able to host and offer art therapy or teach people about art therapy that would be covered under insurance premium, like under your insurance. Like I have the certification to be able to do that. And that is wonderful. And especially in the watercolor realm of things. And so I said to Shane, I was like, I just kept learning. I was like, oh, I put that on my Elster. And then my dad bought everything on my Elster last year after my mom passed because I don't think he knew what to do. So he just bought everything. So I took the course because it's like, well, now I got to do this because I put it on my Elster. Listen, I don't use Elster like other people do. I love Elster, but I know where I have screwed myself over and why I got a vacuum for Christmas one year. Throughout the year, I if somebody's birthday's coming, my whole family and a lot of my friends use Elfster. So I like that it's a communication tool where it's like we can do our family draw, and everybody knows Elfster. So I use it as like, oh, I might want that around Christmas time. Like that's how it started. So all year long, anytime something lights my brain up, but not enough for me to put in my own cart, it's like, if a birthday comes around and somebody wants to know what crazy shit I were not spending money on, but wouldn't be mad if it was wrapped. Like my mother, like because and I would put something on there in like July. So my mother would buy it in August because she thought that's what she thought that was what my heart's desires were. Oh, that's why I have a pink vacuum. And last year, my dad texted me, it was Thanksgiving, and he's like, I ordered that awning thing on your Elfster for Christmas. It's going to be a month early. I was like, Dad, it was like a $300 awning that I didn't even know where I wanted to put. He's like, it'll be here tomorrow. I'm like, what? Okay, I'm going to have to change my Elfster behaviors, I think. It is why I now have a separate, like, Anna's Elfster and then a garden Elfster where we're figuring it out. Anyway, in trying to get back to what this room is or could be, math-wise, 450 square feet is a huge office, and I'm grateful for it because that's bigger than I ever anticipated to have in general. But to have that space and have full control, and it was built into our mortgage, it's like out of all the different scenarios and the wormholes we've gone down of like what this house could be if we sell it, we live in it, we sell it, never, ever, ever, ever in any of the conversations did this become this area above the garage, which is almost like half of our house, this whole extra apartment and garage that we're building back in. Like now that we took down half the bar, we're building the wood shop. Like now that this is my entire office, it's like, holy crap, what the fuck do I do with all this space? I know what I would like to do, but I also know that it's not healthy for me to overcommit and overplan because I have yeah, we can do that. Time blindness, right? Object permanence. Like I can be standing in a space. I'm standing here looking at my garden and the craziness of what I built last year. And it's like, I have no idea what happened. I feel like Will Ferrell. That is the memories. Oh my God. Okay, like we were talking to Shane. Shane's like, well, we don't have a lot of garden beds. We don't have any garden beds to build. It's like, yeah, because I built 15 last year. What the hell? I was like, no, but we got to fix all the shit I didn't button up because I was just trying. Now it's like, oh God, I got to go fix what past Anna did. And that is supposed to be fun. I'm not excited about it. I'm just tired of looking at snow. And I'm angry that there's so many animal tracks in my yard. Look at how many animal tracks there are in my yard. There's some sort of an animal party happening out here at night, and I am furious that I can't see it. But there are all different kind of tracks. Like I know what bunny tracks look like. I do not know what makes these. Okay, these ones are new last night, and I don't know where my finger is. Those ones are new from last night, and I don't know what those are. There's all of these little, those are like bunny tracks, I think. And we know that the bunny has been going back and forth through the trampoline dome, but we haven't seen the fox. So it's like our foxes and bunnies both existing, and I'm grateful that there's not any carnage, but what? Like all of my pumpkins, all of my pumpkins and like vining plants, I had staged in front of that, and then it snowed, and then they've been there since. So it's like that whole area is, I don't know what plants do the second year. Like I have no idea how to have a garden the second year. I know how to have a garden the first year. I did it. And I apparently went really extra. So now it's like, okay, so what do I do next year? Well, now I know how to use power tools in the capacity that I do. So trees don't stand a chance. I am definitely taking down that tree and that tree. And then the neighbor said I can take down his apple tree and that pine tree if I wanted. And it's okay that I'm taking them down. They're too close to the power lines and go through them. But I also am planting baby magnolias, and we have to take those trees down before we build out this patio that comes off of my studio. And right now I think it's probably 4 or 5 feet wide by 12-ish. And I think we're going to go like 8 by 10 or 10 by 10 out and then have the stairs come off a different way. So it's like we are collecting information because we didn't know if we were going to stay in this house. And I have never been so aware of my backyard or the fact that I had a patio off my bedroom door the whole time that didn't exist. My brain did not write the code on that. It's like when you go to Minecraft and it glitches and then there's like a piece missing. It was like that. It did not exist. And now it very much does. And it is my incentive and why I cannot convince myself to back out of the surgeries. If I don't start the process now, I'm going to miss out on something that I know is a big-ass dopamine ball for me. And I cannot wait to get back in the dirt, which is Anna in her 20s is rolling over in bar grave. Like, what? What do you mean we touch dirt now? It's like, yeah, remember how we used to do, like, we were outdoorsy before, and the fact that we would commandeer your boat or drink on your porch? Yeah. Now, we play real-life, like, Mario levels in a garden. And we instead of commandeering boats, we commandeer our neighbor's yard and take down his trees and build sunflower paths. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that I am gearing up to seed start today, and that is exciting. And I get to record my follow-up video because last year I recorded the first time I touched dirt and I gagged. I wonder if I'll gag this year because it's been a while since I touched dirt. With the lens of what do I need to physically do and check the box of that I might not be able to do while recovering. And that was get my seeds started, even if it's early. I'd rather have them going and harden them off in one of our raised garden beds because we have a cold frame for it that we haven't put up yet. But I can start them and do some testing in this room. Like, how do I have an indoor greenhouse in my sewing room that also has hair, painting, and costuming? Like, how did this get to be what it is? I'll give you like the walkthrough. Like when you walk up the stairs now, there used to be an oven there. That cat. What are you doing, ma'am? That's not the cat from yes. That's not Murphy, the big cat. That's the little lady cat. That's Shane's aunt that we inherited. I don't want to say. Oh, hi, baby girl. Her name's Carol Baskins. Carol Baskins. Damn it. Okay, but to where it's come, right? This is the wall that is 90% done, and I've decided because I paused long enough to really figure out what I wanted to do with this wall, it is telling me that I want to continue the exact same thing through at least this section, right? This whole space is all right now craft, painting, hair, right? Over here, my Space Command, my work table, my desk, calendar, storage, greenhouse, sewing. Like this is the deck I was standing on. I'm getting ready to do the soil. This is the fish quilts that I'm working on and my yoga swing that goes on the ceiling. That is turned sideways right now because I'm pinning it until I know what I want to do. I know I need that much space for Shane's and my projects, but we're not ready to put that stuff in here yet, right? Up there is Shane's and my date night projects. My greenhouse is going, and in the greenhouse right now, I have the leftover heads of the marigolds and zinnias that I did last year that I am going to seed test, where I am going to germinate each type of these to see what my germination rate is, because I want to be able to offer. Carol, just because we can doesn't mean we should. What are we doing? Why? No, you don't need to get up there. How about you just sit and lay down somewhere? How about you just sit and lay down and not try to get to the highest point in the room, which is she just knocked that stuff over yesterday. I'm taking the time to be in this space to figure out how I want to use this space, where I just finally got so tired of losing my coat that I was like, I'm hanging up these whale hooks from Grayson's old baby room so I can just be more efficient. I lose my shoes constantly because I have no place to put my shoes yet. Oh yeah, there we go. I have lights hanging. That light is so hot where it's like, Shane, you're an electrician. I need that much light, but I need this much light, but I need it to not burn me when I look at it or touch it. My quilt wall, like I took the quilts down solely because when I restage something, she really just is in it for a couple days to figure it out. So I took the quilts down because she kept like walking past them and moving them, and they would come off the thing. So I took that down and hung these up just so I could have the visual space of, okay, that's occupied by a project. Is it in the way? So far, no. What is in the way is all of the extra materials from the first project, because if I put it away, that part was supposed to be here a week and a half ago. That I do not like being behind, because this is not something I didn't project was going to happen. I tried to fix this problem 6 months ago. That's why I put the 2 parts on my Elster that my dad bought in November. It's just the fact that I'm waiting is okay. It's making me crazy, but it's also helping me prove the theories of how much I can commit to bringing into this room. And then that will help me identify where our storage needs are, right? Where I just put these staged there, and those are going to be individual order bins or work bins. None of the things in this room are efficiently organized yet, except like that dresser has, like, the bottom drawer is an April project drawer. The second drawer is Lori and Cam. The third drawer is Snoop. Like the fourth drawer is Joe. Over here, I have hair drawers where it's like, okay, that's the project that Julie and I are working on, and I need 2 bins, one for her to work out of, one for me to work out of. Like, the intention is to take custom AF designs into more of a collaborative state to be able to help other artists or small bespoke artists have a platform to work together and do collaborations. That is, I think, one of the only ways I want to go forward is I want to do collaborations on top of what I'm already doing as far as sewing. A third of the plan is to make sure that my door is always open for collaborations, because it helps me be able to write the workbooks. Where being able to work in different realms and niches, whether it's when I'm teaching hair coloring classes, or like what I would do it as a seminar or TED Talk, or a podcast. Instead of doing that, writing a workbook, writing it so that you can read it as a mini lens book, but then also have a companion workbook and then exercises to be able to navigate that. It's not necessarily teaching the theory of. They're great. If you got glitter on the brain and I have any interest in reading the manuscript now that it's being edited, I could use some other creative brain feedback before I launch it live. Like, that would be helpful. So if you're a reader and are like, oh, Anna, that is my jam. Hi, it's me. And I would thank you for getting to this far in the how do you do and hearing me out. So what I know about what I feel like is a little chaosy. I'm not late on anything. I haven't taken any orders that need to be delivered by a certain time. I have a couple of people that need things for graduation, and I have given them, okay, I can guarantee that deadline, but you have to have it in my hand by March 1st. Right now, I'm only guaranteeing a June or a May delivery if I have it in my hand by March 1st. So and that date will change based on how many people I'm expecting by March 1st. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a project, I am taking those, especially if you have it can happen anytime in the next year. I am currently filling my next 12-month calendar with those projects that don't have loose or that don't have hard deadlines because of the medical and surgical stuff, right? Where I'm going to be able to do these for the orders that I have and then be able to offer other ones available. As soon as that presser foot comes, everything shifts, and I have 2 quilts to finish immediately, because as soon as they're done, I'm driving them to Whitewater. Like, that plan, I need to get that presser foot in person by the 18th, or I'm screwed. Or else I'm not going to be able to get it to them, and I will be devastated, because I had asked for 2 weeks. They're my family, and they love me, and they know that I'm writing a program, and they know there's a reason I'm being intentional. But my big heart is like, Anna, I feel like I'm letting them down, and I know I'm not, but I cannot. I'm also excited. Like, I cannot wait for them to have these things, especially as the people who knew they were coming and were the most excited about it and have known about it the longest. It's like, shit, come on, Ken's Sewing Center. But then that's the only time commitment that I have and have made. The rest of them it's not going to be football season after Sunday. So it's like, these don't have a timestamp on them. I have a Crown Royal quilt up in that bag. That is a collection of every color Crown Royal bag you've ever seen and some that you haven't. So I cannot wait to document that one, right? I have my garden stuff is kind of strewn, but I have to get into this room is also set to be able to have a gardening area and greenhouse and being able to seed roll because I can go right out the back door and down to the garden and I don't have to trape mud through my house and in my game room because when Anna didn't know what she was doing, it got a little out of control for a minute, but now I have a plan. Costumes are going to be an evolving collaboration where I would have liked to have gotten 15 costumes done by now and then be at Trans World, but I will be most likely recovering from surgery that at that time. I have a phone call later today about the different hair prototypes that we're doing. And not only did I'm working on, like, think of things for the stage or movies, right? This is not human hair. It's synthetic. It doesn't stay in. It doesn't get washed. It gets taken out. But there's a difference between, like, when I did festival hair and I worked with Flextensions. Flextensions is human hair that's clipped in and washable, right? Synthetic hair or festival hair are more of a protective hairstyle. Like if you go to a party, rave, outfit, whatever, you can protect your hair, but then have big, fun, crazy hair. It's like a one night or a weekend thing. But that's taking synthetic hair and attaching it to your human hair in a way that it's not a permanent. It doesn't have to come out that night, but it's put in with an application method where you don't wash it, where some braids and synthetic hair, you wash it with it in, right? It's more permanent. What we did at Blarney Island in marketing was more of that festival or party kind of thing, or like, holiday, like, you put them in like falls and different things, like clips that go over the buns, things like that. Julie does a lot of that, like show hair and competition cheerleading and all that kind of hair through Flextensions. I have the synthetic hair that, while working in the costuming realm of things, her and I both wanted to get into wigging and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to wig with human hair. I think the artistry and creativity that is lighting my brain up to go with costumes is being able to offer hair pieces to go with costumes. So I am dusting off all my hair and sewing skills to be able to take loose synthetic hair, sew it to different types of construction base things that are comfortable and breathable to build extreme hair pieces that are either protective of balding kids like me or performers who their hair can't take the wear and tear of every day. Like my hair, when I wore my headpieces when I did haunts, and like I was the front like sometimes when you're at a haunt, you're wearing like just blood all over you or like coveralls and you're just are scare actor. Like when you're a character actor and you're up front at a haunted house or in realms of things like that, you're seen more. It's not like Disney level, right? Because it's not every day, all day. It's for a month every year. But for those 30 days of October, that character is alive and is like, you need to like sometimes you have two sets of hair or two sets of things to be the same character, or you have certain pieces of an outfit that can be two different characters, so you don't wear out a big part of something that is not necessarily washable or sustainable, right? Where sometimes you just have kind of a mask under a huge headpiece. It's like sometimes that huge hairpiece or headpiece is accompanied by a lesser showpiece garment. Being able to, I can't find a hair creator in the costuming realm that offers what Julie and I are building. And I'm grateful for it because, this woman revolutionized extensions in general with Flextensions, but she owns the patent on the most comfortable extension system I've ever worn. And I have like alopecia and hair loss from male nutrition. Like I'm the worst case scenario. I went through getting shots in my scalp for like 2 years to try to fight what was happening. And then I got an eating disorder that made it so that my hair fell out even more. And then stress and anxiety. It's like I'm worst case scenario where it's like, oh, you have a prototype? You want to test it on, if you look at my hair the wrong way, it just falls out. It's like, oh, we're not here anymore. It's like, yeah, oh, just don't look at it. Don't look at it sideways. I can't. I said to her, I was like, she came over for a meeting on Monday. And I was like, this is what I'm doing. She goes, hold on, I gotta go to my car. And she just had knee surgery a little bit ago. I was like, well, I'll run out and grab it. So I grabbed her bag and she pulls out exactly what I was talking about in a constructed form, but in human hair. And I was like, why do we have the same brain, Julie? My hair went from this to this in a minute.
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flow, sister.
I have been trying to get in person with that woman for months, and it was for that I knew she was working on that prototype. But the cheerleaders came first, and they're going to stay. I get so excited, even the possibility of being able to hang out and work on a collaboration with her and her amazing company, right? That's something that this room is set up to do, and also to have the costumer here at the same time. It is delightfully different and startling to my nervous system to have to get this set up. I don't know what I need it for, but I have to make it even more accessible because I won't be able to walk up and down my quilt wall conveniently, at least for I think 3 weeks. I don't know. So it's like, okay, well, I can hang vests. I could just have to move slower. And I have talked very loudly about how I don't like to move slow. Anyway, I know that I can have a sewing and quilting project going, but only have one at a time going. I think that that's the overall lesson here. Of the room the way it currently is, if I clear out 2 of those bins, then I can have as many, I can clear out those bins and have those set for sewing projects because it's right here and it's not going to get dirt or paint. So it's like, okay, that just became way more efficient. I have my other painting project collaborations are going to go over there. Costuming, and hair is going to go over there. And then costuming and, or not quilting, costuming is going to go over here. I have to get that buttoned up, and I'm not using paint today, but I am using dirt. So, and it's the messiest part of the dirt, and I know what I did last year. So today I am finishing cleaning up because I went and raided my own backyard areas that didn't have snow on them, and it is very slowly melting out to where by the time I finish recording, I'll be able to go and get the couple of supplies that I'm waiting for. Because I'm going to start my seed rolls. I am all set to document and record and do a vlog of, yep, it's my second year gardening and this is what I know and this is what I've learned, right? That is I've been so excited about it, but now it's like, oh yeah, if I don't actually start doing that and get prepared, my ass is going to back out of this surgery because no, I can't do it. It's like, no, we're going to garden and we're going to seed start and we're going to heal while they grow and then we're going to do this. So if gardening things aren't your jam, just know that my hyperfixation is a distraction. So I don't chicken out of starting the down because I'm not nervous about this surgery. I'm just nervous about it's a year commit. It's I don't know how it's going to play out, but financially and time-wise, there's a time limit of okay, then you do this all in a year because it's deductible, right? It's like, okay, my mom got both of her knees replaced in a year. I know what a year of this looks like. My brother had 3 surgeries on he had his colon removed, rebuilt, and then a new one, and put back in. I said to him, it was 2 weeks after I had Grayson, and I said to him, I was like, listen, if I can be pregnant for 9 months, and they didn't give me an epidural when I asked the week that I found out I was pregnant, can I have an epidural the whole time because I'm a wuss? I was like, if I can do that, then you can do this. And he's like, yeah, I can, confidence. But then now it's okay, now I have to have some certain, okay, let's really make sure we're set up for success in all realms, because as much as I didn't expect to have this size of a space to work with, I also didn't expect that I couldn't run. I don't like when other things slow me down. When your pressure feet don't show up for a week and a half, but that gives you time to test the theory of what can this space be all at once? It's not everything all at once, but it can be a lot. But that's also a collective art space that has 450 feet this year and planning to grow to 750 to 900 next year. Having a space to be able to do that, it's no, I know what that exists outside of this house. I've hyper-researched it for years. But what does that look like in this house in a growth phase over the next 2 years. I hope I outgrow it, because then I'm getting a pole barn warehouse, art studio, craft house, homestead, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how this plays out at all. But I am tickled pink to have the opportunity to be able to make the space that we have work for us in a good way, but then also to document it. Because I can do editing while I'm recovering. Like, hopefully that's all the projects I've hyper focused on since we did this shift, and when I started really trying to focus back on getting up and going, right? I gardened, and then as soon as Grayson went back to school, it was like, okay, let's start writing the programs that we have and that we haven't been able to do because we didn't have time, right? And now it's like, okay, do you know how many of these programs that I can write? Like, okay, I asked at the beginning of this, it's like, what am I going to do today? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I am not going to touch dirt until I cut out my patterns. So I am looking for the perfect pattern for what I want to do with these in particular. And I didn't want to have to draft the pattern. There's a couple of different free sewing sources out there where people have put their drafted patterns out that you can use. One of them, I went by the measurements that they had, like ladies large or whatever. The other one, I went and did full measurements and put my body measurements in, and it's supposed to be custom made to my body, which is amazing. But the problem is the person who knows how to do that, or like knows what's up with this, is like, you can't get true measurements on yourself. That you need a tailor, like you need somebody else to operate the tool that's measuring you, because when your body moves, it doesn't work that way. So it's like, this might be way off. We'll see what happens on that. We're gonna if anybody is watching and interested in spending time in the studio so I can help, because you want to learn to sew, you want to craft, you want whatever it is. If you have an art or a creative thing that you want to work on and you are unsure of it, or you're like, hey, I want a seed start, or I want to know more about that, or Anna, I didn't know that you did patterns, or that like I'm interested in starting, like I know how to sew and I want to, but I do quilts, but I'd be interested in sewing clothes or whatever. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, because I would love to have a body double and have somebody. I have a couple of people that come in and like paint, or does their own stuff, or works on projects with me, where it's like there's room in here for somebody else to body double and also be in an art frame of mind, and it's helpful for me what I'm doing going forward. So if anybody's interested, I'm putting that out there. Wish me luck. I'm going to cut these out, go back and edit whatever, or not edit, go back and pull whatever hour-long info dump I just put on the internet, and get ready to. I'm now that I'm into February, I have that social media package that's there and prepped and ready to be edited when I'm down for the count. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to try to record my first vlog of seed rolling as a second-year gardener. It's like, I'm not an expert, but I did see one of the experts yesterday, and I'm excited about all the different things that are to come with the garden. So in the documenting of that, I need to get off the behind the scenes and like actually set up and try to have like a full 15 minutes of me not doing this. I ain't good at it, but whatever. I hope everybody has a really good day. Somebody asked me like, Anna, where's your time lapses? And it's like, I know, I'm not doing both. I'm saving a lot of editing, but as much as somebody was like, oh, I really like those, like, are you going to do more? And it's like, yes, but just in general, I can't wait to record what this looks like when I unravel it. In general, it's like I'm waiting to unravel these and look and see what texture we can get to be able to create different things. Oh, I didn't finish. That was the one part of the story I didn't finish. So Julie had come and given me that hair, and I said to her, I was like, I would wear those. I'm always looking for something to put in my hair. Either like I miss my extensions. My sister's like, your hair's so long. And I'm like, yes, but don't look at it. It blows away. I said to Julie, I'm like, if we put extensions in my hair, it's all going to fall out. So I'm not trying to fool anybody into thinking that this is my hair. It's like, I have all this colored hair. How do I wear that on a daily? I can make it match my leg warmers of the day or something. Like, how can I get it in with the protective style lens? It's like, no. Sometimes there's things I put things in my hair that I shouldn't have gotten caught on a boat in the rain that was not a great idea. It's like, okay, if I'm doing protective braids and then attaching something that I'm not sleeping in, what does that look like? What's the comfortability and wearability all day? If I can wear it, just bebopping around, I have no hair and I'm go, go, go. I was like, then cheerleaders will be able to wear that. Like, you'll be able to tumble if I can wear it. So it's wonderful to be able to give her feedback on her prototypes, right? But then also, she had said, I wanted to talk to you about this part of this thing. And I said, oh, I wanted to talk to you about, like, she needed my perspective because I'm bald kid. I'm a bald kid with a cosmetology license. She owns an extension company and she has more hair than God. It's like this woman's hair is so long and thick. Like if I could select and just like pick and choose whose hair I would have for the rest of my life, it was, and will always be Julie's hair from Flex Extensions. So I said to her, I was like, oh, well, I'm glad that you need my help because I was like, can I just put this in your hair real quick? I need to take some pictures because like just visually so I can tell people, like be able to show customer like what I'm thinking. And she's like, yeah. So within like 15 minutes, I went from bald kid ponytails to like, oh my God, I'm going to go on. Like I got fancy pigtails now. And then her hair, I don't have a before, but this is what I turned it into. So I get it to that point, and I was like, yeah, but I want to like try to like put it up, but you know, like when I do some like you know how you're so good at like updos and like the visual like symmetry and stuff. Like there's a reason I do color and I don't have enough hair. I was like, can you just kind of? And then she does this. In like a minute, she was like, whoop. I'm like, okay, this is okay. All right. I'm excited to work on the collaboration together, and I am over the moon. I think she's coming next week, so I'm waiting for a presser foot that I'm hoping is there for that appointment. I'm grateful that I'm able to do what I can do because I test. Truly, I can't wait till you're in person. Anyway, I'm going to cut out this pattern, get ready. I'm going to start my seed rolls, and I hope everybody punches today in the face. That's a lot of information. I God only know. Like, I hope I go back and it's like, Anna, that's too much. We'll see.